Alright, welcome back everyone. Here we are through step 42, I believe it was. We got our sort of ground floor, I think, pretty well done. Work our way up tonight. Well, I think on the back tonight. I don't know how far up we're actually going to go. Got our side walls in place. This is going to be a relatively narrow... His tail's going to be in the way, I just noticed one more. I'm still not sure about the placement of this piece. It seems like he's awful snug there. But everything else is lined up. Like I say, I'm just looking at this. That's it. Yeah, and that's the right side. But I guess we'll may have to reposition him yet again. But for right now, we'll leave it there. But if you're new here, this is what I do. I buy these kits and build them step by step, mostly in real time. You get to see all my successes and all my failures and how I hope to fix those inevitable failures as they come up. Upload daily and just try and have a good time. We're not changing the world, we're just building silly little models and having fun. And I'm really digging this one, by the way. But with that being said, we're ready to jump into the next little bit of our build. It's going to be working on, I think, the back wall. And it's a little bit more out of the way, a little more room to work. And bring it in, and let's get it going. First thing, I've got to make some doors. Get these guys out of. Evidently, it does matter which side is which. So I've separated them out. Oh, yeah, I turned off the lights a little bit. Let's get a little more extra light on the face. We got, let's see, circle on the bottom. And these three like that. That's our hinge pin. And this one's our doorknob. Which goes this one on this side. And that doorknob blends in way too much. So hang on. Get my gold tins out. I'm going to try and color it all the way in, but I do want to make sure it pops a little bit. Even though, you know, that looks like one of those British doorknobs in the middle, but they put another one over there, so who knows. Okay, now over to our hinge. Okay, so this one, the oddball, is the actual connection to the door. And these guys are going to connect to the wall. So, okay, so they're going to go, okay, that way. We're going to go, you guys, that and that. Just run this down through here first. And that's going to hold our pin in place. I think I can get it lined up. Okay, so okay, there it went. Okay, so the door's going to be, we're going to be able to crack it a little bit. Those are going to, all right, cool. Okay, door number one done. Same thing here. I think I'll hit my. Yeah, that seemed to work pretty good. That doorknob over there. So that goes on the higher one. Goes against the doorknob. Touch you enough to make it stand out. So. Okay. That it seemed. I think it'll work. That seems pretty loose on that one. There's the, yeah. And here, that. Okay, got you on the first try, like that. I got it lined up the first try, I gotta do some more. Not quite as snug. Okay, there it went. Okay. Okay, so the same thing. It's going to be able to be cracked a little bit, so that'll be cool. Alright. Now, those done, we bring in our back wall. And yeah, it's just behind it. We don't get, I think I guessed right, so we don't get a good view of how these are actually assembled, so I think it looks like the doors are supposed to open to the back, so I have done this correctly in spite of myself. No matter of getting it to drop in. Okay, yeah, there it goes. They sort of show them like that, the picture, so I think that I feel good about that. We're gonna put door frames around it before we're done tonight, so that's gonna cover that gap up. Okay. Not much to grab onto here, so it's a little tricky to get everything to cooperate. There it is. When you put it in there, that does tighten everything up too, so it's sort of staying in place. That's good. Alright, so that's that part done. Now we get our battery compartment holder. New, and then bring what we got in with all our wires everywhere. Let's see these. Okay, so these are actually soldered in place, so they're definitely, we could unplug them from that end. It's going to go in. Okay, so the wires go at the bottom. There, and pop you back the other way. And, alright. That. I think I've still got some. Yep, I still got charge on my little baby electric screwdriver. Just happen to have the right bit on. I hope. These are. I think I'm gonna take them home with the regular screwdriver. That is max torque and it's not wanting to go. Okay. I think, yeah, they're all showing through there. Oh, enough to, yeah. Just take them home with this one. All those teeny tiny screwdrivers they always send me, this is probably the handiest one. Because it's long enough to get a hold of, and it's got this little swiveling top. I really like that feature. Oh. Okay, so I got her. Definitely a poking hazard here. That's something to be taken into account. Oh, I see what the issue is. I'm supposed to go from the other side. Yeah, Okay. Yeah, because I see the countersinking on it now. Okay. There's one of those inevitable mistakes. Upside it does. It does. It is strong enough to pull them out. I just noticed. When they're supposed to be going after all that. Yeah, I'm gonna want this side's got a coating on it, so this is probably gonna be what's showing, so that's need to make had it backwards the whole time. There's 2 mistakes in one. Okay. There. Now okay. Gotta get everything. Okay, I think it's got it. Yeah, that looks much better. Yeah. Okay. Now we're back to where we should have been like 5 or 10 minutes ago. Well, maybe not 10 minutes ago. 5 or 6 minutes ago. Now, that's eventually gonna stand up in these notches, but we got some more work to do before we get to that. Okay. Now, that little interlude was some time to install this guy. Okay, we got wire slots again here. Guess I'll bring you around this way, because these guys are supposed to run, I think, behind that. So that's going to run in there. Yeah, I see. Got our notches down there that these go into. Just gotta get these guys to slip by. The double wire is very snug. Yeah, I think I'm going to do some damage to that if I. Yeah, it looks like I'm already. Okay. This stuff is locked. All this stuff's locked in all the way from the front. Okay, let's see if I can get you up without destroying everything else. Okay. Okay. And, oh, that's right, it's tape glued on there. Okay, let's get that out. There, okay. So, I can't, that hole is right there next to our acrylic, so I can't take it wider, so I need to take it down. Let's see here. I'm going to do it with just a simple knife. Right. Back and forth. I thought that was awful snug last night when I was putting that in. But that's what the instructions said. So. Looking back and forth, trying to dig that hole down a little bit deeper, so maybe they can go side by side. Knocked out a little bit there. We're slowing down the progress here, folks. And as always, if I slip, I won't show the damage. I'll just show I'll come back with a band-aid on. I'm not one for being hurt, and I'm definitely not one for watching somebody else get hurt, so I assume everybody's pretty much the same way. Okay, let's see. We got more room now. Okay, there's a little more wiggle room there, so I'm going to still look like it's going to be awful tight. Let's see. Okay, there we went. Going all the way down, right. Double check my... Yeah. Gap down there, I'm assuming is where they don't show us a back view, but we got this little gap down here, so I'm assuming that's where all the rest of our wires come out. How far off is that? A pretty good little mix there. Something else looking okay? Yeah, I think so. It is not going to line up with that. Okay. Got them in. Like I said, did some pretty good peeling here, so let's scrape our out of the way. I don't think it's not the right tool for the job, but it's the tool I had at hand. Okay. There we go, got all our wires. Okay, and now, no, the wires do not. They are still pinched in right there. Let's see if I can't bring them up into our gap there. Okay, I got them de-pinched. I guess that's why they did them that way, but it sure looked like he was going to tear them apart, sliding that thing by it so tight. But it may have been okay. Let's reattach our stair rails here. These guys are all down. Now, time for a quick test of the lights. Make sure we're haven't broken anything vital. Okay. They're still on both sides and all those back there. Switch works. Alright. We're good. Okay. Back charging. And alright, that was a bit more of a dramatic step than I was intending it to be. But like I say, back wall installed. Okay. Now, what are we doing? Okay, got our next. Okay, so there's this guy comes in a little in here. Push our doorknobs back out of the way because it's going to pop in there, and this is going to go all the way down behind our little raptor. Alright. A little gap there. There's a sense of depth. That was very nice. Okay, so that sort of gives us our door frame. We're still going to add more in front of that now too. I think actually right now. Oh, wait a second. It says, what are we? Okay, so they're still talking about these light strips here. The instructions there. Light bar 3. Yep. I can't remember, was that the one? Yeah, they're still talking about that one. Okay. Okay, now we're ready for the next bucket. Progress a little bit. I guess we're making progress. It just seems slow to me. I don't know, it's maybe in my head. Okay, so we got some bookshelves and a couple of decorations. These go on our columns here, but I'm going to put these in first because I want to make sure I get these guys lined up properly with our doors, and then this one drops in there. Nice and neat. I have, yeah. Okay. That's there. This is where our these guys go on our columns here. So I think I'm just going to try and line them up with the door frames and go with that. This one's locked in pretty good by the landing. Okay, yeah, okay. But it is glue time. So, nice. Plenty of. Just gonna do it's not structural, so I'm just gonna do some dots. I'm not gonna worry about trying to totally cover the thing in glue. Just want to drop it in and let it lock in place, I hope. It doesn't take much, so I'm just going to throw this on here for a minute or two to keep you in place while I work on those. Oh, y'all can't see any of that. So just make sure they're staying in place. I'm not actually clamping them to clamp them. And sort of the same thing here. Not as much surface area on this one, but let's see. A couple dots there, and then right up the middle here. Lined up. next one. Alright. Just do a straight seam right through there just to get you. Let's see, these are not going to take much to hold them in place, I don't believe. Miss that one terribly. Okay. Now, so I've noticed on this kit the cuts aren't great. There's a lot of little. It's not noticeable, really, but I just happened to glance and saw this where you can see it's not. The cut along this bottom edge is not even. I've been doing a lot of sanding on them to even out stuff like that, and it just sort of. It's not. It's one of those. If you see it, it might bother you, but it's not really noticeable. But I sort of want to heads up on that, if you're one of those people. Okay, oh, on edit, I'll just better. It's time to put my Dinosaur. Here's a picture of the. Focus on. That's a cool little T-Rex picture. And the T-Rex head, I think, yeah. 2 T-Rex heads, okay. Alright. Like I said, those just go. Are they? It's like about halfway down the column. They're not being. I thought they might use the top. I'm going to go about here, sort of center of that level of books. Swizz around. Your right side up. Same thing here. Around. And higher. Alright, I think that's probably about as close as I'm going to get. And now is the time that I'm supposed to make 59 more books. So I'll do 1 or 2 and then I'll zip through the rest of them at high speed. And that'll also give me a chance to let this dry. Leave you laying down, and like I say, it's. I don't know if there's 59 blanks here, but I'm assuming there's 59 of these guys left. Pretty standard. These have been going pretty nicely as far as fitting. Let's go in there. I say they've been pretty close on the wrapping around, looking like books. So I'm good with that. I'll do, I think, do 3 more, and then like I say, we'll just zip through the rest. And I'll tell you that I'm going to put music under them and lie, because I always forget to do that. Try and find some. I think not. It's a little tedious, but it's not that difficult, really. Just zip, 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 and moved on to the next one. Alright, with that, I'll speed on through the rest, and we'll come back and got a couple more little steps to do, and we'll call it a night. Okay, there we go. That was, I forgot to look and see how long that took, but you know, a few minutes. It wasn't terrible. Now we got a wide selection of dinosaur books. I only had one, had several of them threatened to come off like that, but only one actually came out until before I got it peeled. But, so not too bad. Now, let's see, what am I doing with all those books? Okay, looks like we're just filling in the gaps on our shelves over there. Okay, that makes sense. You find a spot for everything. Okay. Yes. Okay, I think those are okay, so I'm just going to pop them just as supports. And basically, looks like we're supposed to put these, fill in all the spots that aren't booked here. So maybe that won't be too bad. They gave us, there's our diagram. So basically it looks like, yeah, everywhere there's not books, or they're not printed on books, they're supposed to add books. But yeah, they've actually got some over our little egg here, so I'm not going to cover that up. I'm just going to freestyle it, I think. Just here. Should be able to smear some around pretty good. Let's see how good or bad this works now. There are teeny tiny books. I do have a new set of tweezers, so maybe I can not get them contaminated. Oh, that one cooperated. Good start. One more there, maybe. Not enough. Yeah. Okay, actually I'll swizz the glue around a little bit, make it spread it a little bit more. Can I just do it by hand any easier? Maybe. It didn't go down all the way. Maybe not. Yeah, that shelf is. So much for keeping my new tweezers clean. First one in. I think I need some more glue. That should have. Okay, there's a lip there. It's sticking on. It's not. But the shelf might have been too. Oh no. Okay. We have to twist this one in. Push you over. And who saw that coming? This one's got a little rise in it there, so maybe. Okay, that one may fit in pretty good. Looks like only 2 books gonna go in there anyway, because it's got a little hump. Okay, that one wasn't as bad. What can we do here? can just push it past that little. I can see it now where the second layer, the layers didn't line up exactly right. Just got to do a little extra pressure on it. And put one in backwards, of course. Feel glue on my finger, but evidently I do. Okay, not too bad. Pretty good effect, I'd say. Now, here, maybe from this angle for me, get access to everything. Okay, let's go with our glue again. I don't think I'm going to use all 59 books here, though. I got the cover. Cool, just cooperating with me. Okay, let's set you aside. We'll go again if I'm not being lined up exactly right. Pay more attention. Put them in upside down. Take me long to get those new tweezers contaminated. Got you over all that. Nope. Lean down. May not show there, but there's a printed statue there. I don't want to cover it up. Couple down here at the bottom. You want to lay these down horizontally. Probably should have done that with a few of them. Alright. Yeah, that wasn't terrible. Go all the way down. Looks like I got room for. No, that's that was where that hump is, isn't it? Okay. Okay, I got a little gap up here in this corner. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to cover up my little egg deal, but I'm going to get two more in here. I got all these extra books here. I'm assuming they're extras. As much of the 3D effect going as we can. Dope. It's got, actually, oh yeah, that's my statue thing right there. Alright. I think I might call that quits. I don't know. We may have more use for more of these books after a while, but I'm not going to toss them or anything, but that's, yeah. Alright, so we got that much of our back wall done. We got one more little thing that I'm going to do here. Get that off my... Oh, got a few guardrails to go on here. Or this next level. So, mini peels. Same thing on this side. No, you're not fighting that. Okay. I'm still... Okay, since I noticed that earlier, let's pop this off and see if I can't straighten them out. So it's got to be on that side. No, can't do that. And that's going to put it way too close to the steps. Won't it? Yeah. That'll put him. Yeah, not going to fit there. It's got to be this way. I guess there's a little wobble there, but that's still, that's still. Okay, so it's got a little wobble there, but it doesn't feel good. Let's get back in. Don't feel like it wants to wobble, but that does give us a little clearance there at least. And let me grab that side. See, where does our little this thing come in? Okay, it's like right in. There you go. Yeah, it's going to be really snug there. It is rubbing against this piece. I guess that will be all right. Okay, but that's not something we got to worry about today. It's just something I noticed. All right, folks, that's all I've got for you tonight. Seems like a long way to not get very far, but I guess we did do some good. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, complain, share. Do whatever you want to with all that. Be good to one another, stay safe, and click on a link. There's my channel up there for you to subscribe. There's my other channel over there that I do some experiments on a couple of times a month. This is what YouTube thinks you should be watching, and over here is the playlist for this whole build. See you tomorrow.